All right, shalom, shalom. And first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakaf Wadash. A double honors to the apostles and elders, salutations to Yakim, pushing the work in truth and in sincerity. All right, it's not speculation, you're the devil. All right, critical race facts. Okay, it's not by speculation, all right, that we know you're the devil. Okay, it's your track record. All right, it's simply what you've done in the earth. It's your carbon footprint. Okay, it's your heinous crimes that you've committed. All right, that stick out like a sore thumb. All right, and you can say critical race theory. All right, to pretty much imply that it was a speculation. All right, we're not speculating. All right, the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay, all right, and over time we've been proving that. History proves it. Okay, and we're going to continue to prove it until the Lord judges you. Okay, and this is your reproach. Us telling on you, us revealing your darkest secrets. All right, and the scripture says what? We're grievous to behold. Why? Because we pulled down every stronghold that you've built in the society. Okay, so it's not speculation that you're the devil. All right, these are critical race facts. It's not a theory, and I hate that term, theory, because it implies speculation. I had a video that I want to show you, Akim, and the first scripture that came to mind was Sirach 41:7. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and play that video, and then I'm going to get to the precepts, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Here we go.
Ignorant aha moment, and really ignorant aha moment, and steeped in my white privilege aha. They don't want CRT taught in the schools because when the pictures start to become more public of the white grown adults screaming at children being integrated into schools, Little Rock 9, Ruby Bridges, etc., they're gonna recognize their family members. They're gonna see grandma in the photos throwing rocks at a 6-year-old. They're going to see their family members.
Yep. So just wanted to play that for y'all. All right. And this is one of the main reasons why they don't want, this thing to be taught in schools. Okay. And that's why the curriculum in the public school sector is to dumb you down. All right. And of course, we know, because Esau doesn't want people to be roused up. They don't want you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to be roused up, but it's the Lord that's going to do the rousing up, okay? Because the spirit is undefeated, as we know, all right? And there's nothing you can do in this earth that goes unwarranted, all right? Okay? All right, this is your carbon footprint, deal with it, okay? Of course, you're gonna choose not to deal with it, but it's gonna come on you even more vigorously. All right, the judgment and the reproach. Okay, so this is Sirach 41:7. Get rid of that. Slack. Sirach 41:7. I'm gonna start at 5. It says, "The children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly." All right, so you're abominable, you're detestable, you're a thing that is a sight, how can I say, a sore sight for eyes. All right, I just flipped it, a sight for sore eyes, but they're a sore, they're an evil sight. All right, okay. So verse 6, it says, "Inherit in the inheritance of sinners." All right, children shall perish. All right. So what you Edomites, you so-called white people, have inherited is riches. All right. And a name. All right. Above all the nations in the world. You call yourself white, implying that you're the preeminent ones on the planet Earth, and you're not. All right. You're posing. Okay. To be upright, all right, and to be, you show yourselves as favorable or fair and equitable, and you're not. All right, you're the worst thing moving on this planet. Okay, really quick, this is Habakkuk 2:4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." All right, and so your soul which is lifted up due to pride, due to your substance, is not upright in you. So you have a wicked spirit in you. All right. Just wanted to point that out really fast. So back in Sirach 41:5, it says, "The children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly." All right. It says, "The inheritance of sinners, children shall perish." All right. So everything that you procured through your carbon footprint, which is raping, robbing, murdering people. All right. Now you use policy. All right. Grievous policies to forward your agenda and your hatred. And your hatred is your biggest enemy. All right. Because it exposes you more than anything, even during this pandemic. You know, you bring in that institutionalized, prejudice through your New World Order, or that institutionalized racism through your New World Order. It's hatred, man. That's all it is, man. And you can't hide it. Okay. Anybody that has a brain, 2 eyes, and 2 ears can see and understand that that's just pure hate that you have. Speaking on the so-called white man, it says, "The inheritance of sinners, children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach." All right, reproach, Salaki. All right, and your posterity is your children. Okay. Your posterity is your children, if I'm not mistaken. It says shall have a perpetual, meaning an everlasting reproach. Okay. So you're being, pretty much, you're being corrected in a sense. And it's going to be an everlasting correction, you see, and you're not going to be able to, you can't deal with it. All right. That's why you're scrambling the way you're scrambling, you see. But it's the spirit of the Lord that's risen up against you, you see. And that is a holy dynamic, man. That is something that you can't stop from happening. Verse 7, it says, "The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake." You see? And that's what's happening with you so-called white people, right? It's cringing when you hear about slavery, when you walk past the camps, those Hebrew Israelite camps, and you hear about slavery, and you hear about, damn the so-called white man. Well, you can thank your foreparents, because they put all the burden on you, and you are your foreparents. All right. Okay. He that had the ear, let him hear. You are your foreparents coming back. And that's why the bill is being placed on you. You see, the Lord is undefeated. Okay. There's no way you can make light of something. All right. Because what? The Lord required that which passes. I'm going to get that. All right. It says, "The children will complain of an ungodly father, because they shall be reproached for his sake." Oh, my great grandfather never had slaves. I never owned slaves. Well, you inherited everything that came from slavery. We can put the numbers out there. At one point, 60% of the economy was driven by cotton. All right, from the backs of slaves. Okay, all right, and those numbers. All right, those numbers are there. Okay, that's something you can't hide. All right, the world benefited from slavery, but the slaves never benefited from slavery. All right, and you can see how we benefited, which is not a benefit, it's a destruction. All right, we're completely destroyed. We're in every ghetto in every city in America. All right, we are continued to be looked over. All right, so it says, "Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High God." Right, because there's a level of equity that you're supposed to show as being masters, or of slaves, and Edom didn't do that. Okay, and when we had servants or slaves, all right, there was a code of ethics, even among slaves, even among masters. Okay, if you smote a slave in the eye, all right, You're supposed to let them go free. All right. But you've done heinous crimes. You lied. You forged. All right. Only so that you can take out your anger and hatred on innocent so-called black people. All right. And you continue to do it through policy. All right. So that's why you're not going to have any type of mercy when your time comes. All right. So it says, and if you be born, it says, will be unto you ungodly men which have forsaken the law of the Most High God. All right. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. So, all right. So the generations that increase is going to be only for your own destruction. Okay. Because you built the tab up. All right. It says, and if you be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And that's what you Edomites are. You were born in this world to a curse, because ultimately that curse, all right, is going to be it's going to lead to your destruction. All right. Okay. And we're talking about the so-called UFOs, chariots of the Most High, blasting you to powder dust. All right. Also, the thermonuclear destruction, which is the ultimate judgment that's coming from the Lord to you Edomites and everybody that follow you Edomites in your, in your establishment. All right. Which is your new world order. It says, and if you die, a curse shall be your portion. You see? Why? Because it's going to stay with you. All right. It says, all that are of the earth shall turn to the earth again. So the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction. All right. And that's just how it's set up, because you had no remorse. You had no mercy. All right. In your endeavors. All right. When you had us captive and you had us a slave. So, all right. So it ain't a speculation that you're the devil. These are critical race facts. So let's go back to Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 4. Which I read that one. So let's see. Well, I'll read it again. 2 and 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. All right. So your soul, which is lifted up in you through pride, all right, and ungodly, ill-gotten gains, okay, it's not upright in you. You don't have a good spirit. You have a wicked, spirit. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. All right. And your wine is your philosophy. Okay. Your wine is your philosophy. All right. Salaki, I just wanted to read it in the NLT. All right, let's see what it says, though. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. That's why you all throughout the four corners of the earth, with your military industrial complex, sieging and occupying parts of the world that's not yours. All right. This is explaining the wicked. All right. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. See, these are the core issues that you Christians look over. All right. And you it's only so much you can do. I mean, it's only so much of ignoring something until that thing is in your face and there's nothing you can do about it. All right. It says, and is as death, okay, and cannot be satisfied. And that's how you are with your enterprise. You cannot be satisfied with just having what you have. You have to take others' things away. Okay. You have to take away things that's not yours. All right. It says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. You see, and that's what you're doing with your new world order right now as we speak. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? Aren't we doing that? Isn't that what's happening right now? All right. And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. All right. That means debt. Okay. And you've been running a deficit since the 60s, since you took out the gold standard. All right. And in that debt, that deficit is unpayable. All right. And that's why this is part of the reason why, the Lord has set you up to go to war with the other nations. All right. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. All right. So the Lord is going to raise up the nations to come against you. All right. When you're at the height of your society. All right. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. All right. This is because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. All right. And woe to him that coveted an evil covetousness to his house. All right. And that's what Esau has done. That's why the bill has been passed down to your inheritance, to your posterity, to your children. All right. Because you have coveted an evil covetous to your own household, that he may set his nest on high. All right. That he may be delivered from the power of evil. You see? So you was only thinking about yourself. You wasn't thinking about the nations and being at peace with the nations. In fact, you've just been exploiting the nations and beating them down so bad. All right. Now the point has come. Well, it's come to the point where things are going to change, and it's going to change drastically, not in your favor though. It says thou hast. All right. So it's one part I wanted to. Yeah, it's the next verse, verse 11. In fact, yeah, I wanted to get that. Well, let me just read it through. It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul. All right. You ain't sin against God. You ain't doing nothing against the Most High. You see, you elites, that's how you think. You think we're really sinister. All right. You think you're hurting the Most High, Yahweh, but you're really killing yourself. You hurting yourself. All right. It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall. And this is the point right here. And the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that builded the town with blood, established a city by iniquity. And that's what you've done. All right. You used witchcraft. You built this place off of witchcraft. You built it off of rape, robbery, and murder. But the point here, it says the very stones in the wall cry out against you. You see? So if we didn't say anything about it, there was no way you're going to be able to hide that carbon footprint of yours, which is the rape, robbery, and murder. All right. And heinous crimes against your slaves. Okay. So I don't think I have to read an NLT. Yeah, so I'll continue. Oh, well, you know what? Habakkuk 2:16. Okay. Habakkuk 2:16. It's lucky for the jumping. All right. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. All right. Okay. Because that's basically, it says in the NLT, but soon it will be your turn to be disgraced. So now you are being disgraced. See, and it seems like you Edomites had no clue that your history is as heinous as it is. It's like it's as if you woken up, all right, in the dream world, all right, and it became a nightmare, all right. It's as if that you've gotten everything by good merit and putting your best foot forward, but it was through heinous crimes, all right. So your disgrace is coming, all right. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. You see? Okay. So you're going to drink the Lord's judgment, as it says right there in the NLT. It says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. All right. And basically your shame is going to be your glory is going to be turned to shame. All right. And that's what's happening. That's what you see. You see it all in that woman's face. Because what? Your grandparents were the ones, throwing rocks at little kids and not allowing, kids to go to certain schools in certain areas. Real heinous, petty stuff, man. And it's only gonna happen to you, man. Okay, because again, that which a man soweth, that shall he also reap. All right. So this one is a good one too. because the Lord requires that which is past. Let's see if it comes up. If I even spelled it right. Yeah, here we go. This is Sirach 3:15. Oh, Salaki, Ecclesiastes 3:15. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. All right. And God required that which is past. Okay. And another way to require is to call back. All right. Okay. Let's look this up really quick. Require. Okay. It says to ask a question. All right. And pretty much the Lord has a controversy with you Edomites. Okay. And the courthouse is us being out there on the streets. Okay. And the Lord is through us is asking that question. He's inquiring. He's asking to ask a question, to seek, procure, beg, ask, petition, demand. So the Lord demands that which is past. Okay. All right. So he's requiring your works. All right. And for you to speak about your works. Okay. Obadiah 1 and I just wanted to grab. Oh, excuse me. And I wanted to jump to the point. Well, let me see. Obadiah 1 and 6 is how are the things that Esau searched out? How are the things hidden? How are his hidden things sought up? Of course, it's the Lord that exposes you. All right. Let's see. I'm going to jump to the point on this one. Here we go. Obadiah 1 and 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. All right. And so you Edomites are going to be cut off forever. All right. There ain't going to be no remnant of Esau or Edom who is going to escape judgment, and that the Lord is going to make them house slaves in the kingdom of heaven. That's not going to happen. All right. Despite what the guy at GOCC is talking about. All right. You clearly don't understand the scriptures then. All right. It says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into the gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. And this really, that's the Lord requiring which is past. All right. Because he's brought up, this is an actual event that took place. Took place. This is an actual event where Esau, where we were being, I think it's the Babylonians, we were being invaded by the Babylonians. And, you know, Esau, we scattered. And you had Edomites on the outskirts picking off the ones that escaped, you see. And you were there with the nations. And this, the most messed up part about it is that Jacob and Esau are the closest families in world history. Okay, so they're supposed to be our brothers or a cousin nation, so to speak, you know, and they turned against us. All right. So for sure, we was like, we were really lonely in the earth had it not been for the Lord. It says, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day of it, that he became a stranger. See, and that's what you've done in slavery. See, and you know the Lord put us there. All right. And you shouldn't have done what you've done. OK. And I know this is talking about that event. But when you look at the situation now, because that which has been is already what it says, that which now has already been. OK, so you're doing the same things that you've done in the past. It says, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of this distress, and you continue to do that because we're in the days of our distress right now. And you speak proudly, you speak loftily, you speak arrogantly, all right? And you do this only to your own demise because the Lord has been watching you. He's been watching you as you've been making it harder for us to live, as you've been setting traps and snares against us so that we can fall into your system, so that we can become perpetual slaves. The Lord is watching you the whole time. Okay, especially now. All right, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, because you've seen it as an opportune time to overthrow us. Okay, as well as the other nations. All right, and more so now than ever because it's more intricate. You know, your heinous crimes against us. Okay, and you dealing on a psychological level where you put chemicals in the food. All right, and you want us to completely be void of knowledge and understanding. Okay, well, it's not going to happen. Okay, because the scripture says Jacob's face shall not wax pale. And it's not talking about the skin color. It's just talking about our spirits. All right. Okay. Because wisdom, makes a man's face to shine. And the Lord is going to give a remnant that understanding and knowledge that's going to wake us up. All right. And ultimately, the word of his mouth which is going to destroy you. All right. It says, in their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. All right, so I'm gonna stop it right there. But shame shall cover you, you see, because what you've done to your own brother. All right, what you've done to the so-called blacks, the so-called natives, so-called Latinos, you know, that shame is gonna cover you, and there's nothing you can do about it. All right, and there's nothing you trying to do about it. You see. All right, Ezekiel 35:5, which pretty practically says the same thing, but this one is going to the more so vengeance and how vengeance is going to be placed upon you, but it's going to be placed upon you through what the Lord, the judgment that the Lord has for you. And those certain judgments, we know specifically exactly what's going to happen to you and by whose hand it's going to happen to you by. And see, this is something that you was always afraid of. All right. And this is something that you always considered. What if those niggas turn on us? What if they, multiply? And that's something you've always been afraid of that. All right. And that's why you've been sterilizing us. You've been using eugenics against us. You've been doing all sorts of things against us, only to your own demise. You've sold your own soul. You damned your own soul. You've cursed your own self. All right. And that's the hard part to swallow throughout this whole thing, because that's what you find out. Like, damn, I did it. All right. It was all me. And then you're going to continue being lofty. You're going to continue to be arrogant. And you're never going to correct your wrongs. And that's why can't no Edomites be saved. All right. The damage you've done is beyond fixable. Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, meaning an everlasting hatred. And that hatred goes all the way back to Genesis, the 25th chapter, when Esau and Jacob were born. All right. And especially after they received the blessings from their father, this pretty much that sealed the deal, because Esau vowed to kill Jacob. And it wasn't just, I'm gonna find my brother, I'm gonna kill it. No, he instilled it in all his generations that this is the nation, these are our nemesis, and that perpetual hatred commenced from that point on. This is because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. All right. And that's what you're doing right now. Let me jump up so we clarify who this is talking about. Ezekiel 35:2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir. And who dwelt in Mount Seir? Edom. All right. And prophesy against it. And that's what we're doing now. We're saying what is to come before it comes. It says, and say unto it, thus said the Lord Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And that's why thermonuclear destruction is going to hit your cities. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. All right, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh power, I will prepare thee. See, I will prepare thee, all right, unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. So if you got a problem with what we're saying, you take it up with the Lord. It said, thou hast not hated blood, and you didn't hate blood because you basked in it, you loved it. You put up pictures of your heinous crimes, and now they're coming back to bite you in the ass. All right, it says, even blood shall pursue thee. All right, so the death and destruction is going to follow you. All right, it says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate. All right, and cut off from it that him that passeth out and him that returneth. All right, so and this is your destiny. All right, this is your destiny. Okay, this is my last one, and I'm gonna close out. This is Jeremiah chapter 49. Okay, because this is basically the conclusion of the whole matter. Your judgment is sealed, and you're not gonna have any mercy, as it says in James. You're not gonna have any mercy. Isaiah 33 explains, but now when thou ceases to spoil, then shalt thou be spoiled. Okay, and this is you thought you were smart, you thought you were getting away with a crime with these crimes. Well, you were sadly mistaken, because they fell on your children. The children has to endure the reproach of the Heavenly Father, and then ultimately it's going to lead to your destruction. Jeremiah 49. I'm gonna just hit the point here. Might as well start at 7, so I can't hit the point. This is Jeremiah 49:7. It says, concerning Edom, thus said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. All right, meaning armies. Yes, the Lord has armies. All right. Okay, it says, is wisdom no more in teeming? Is counsel perished from the prudent? All right, because at one point, hey, you were, and still you're wiser than Daniel. Okay, because of the technology and all these things that you have. All right, and how you advance your society, which is really ain't all that what you think it is. It's really trash. It's just people living in their conveniences and being taken by their own, covetousness and all these vices that you set up. All right. It says, is wisdom no more in teeming? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? That's right, because now you have decadent societies where they're imploding from the inside out. All right. They're falling. The infrastructure's falling. All right. And then on top of that, you set yourself in array against the Lord. That's the dumbest thing you could possibly do. It says, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. All right. And what the Lord is being not sarcastic. Well, yeah, he is being sarcastic in a sense, because he's telling you to run and go hide. You see, he's telling you to run and go hide, because he's going to come and get you. All right. And there's scriptures on that say that he's going to come and get you from the holes in the rocks. All right. And he's going to come and get you from, wherever you at. All right. It says, I will bring the calamity, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. You see, if grape gathers, all right, come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? All right. And the gleaning grapes you leave for the poor. All right. So what the Lord is saying here is he's not going to leave you anything. You see, it says, if thieves by night they will destroy till they have enough. You see. Okay. But the Lord, he ain't gonna have enough. All right. It says, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. You see. So all you Edomites, and the Lord judges nations as a whole. He doesn't judge individuals. He judges nations as a whole. So there ain't going to be a remnant of Edomites that come into the kingdom. That's house niggas in the kingdom. That's not going to happen. All of them are going to be, who's ever left of them, all right, they're going to be in hardcore chattel slavery, okay? They're going to be punished, okay, according to their own works and their own deeds. You might not like to hear that, but that's on you. You take it up with the Lord. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Okay, it says, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. All right. And his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right. All right. Leave thy fatherless children. I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. And that's talking about Israel. They ain't talking about Esau. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh," because it flips, it goes into him speaking on Israel, right? It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken." And that was the Israelites. You see, we drunk in the cup of the Lord's indignation by the hands of the other nations. All right. It says, "And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it." So you got to drink. Now it's your turn to drink of the Lord's indignation. All right. And the NLT version says, "And this is what the Lord says. If the innocent must suffer, how much more must you? Because you the guilty. You see, you're guilty. You got pictures of us, you burning us, and whole crowds laughing, and all sorts of things, man. And stuff that, that was done behind closed doors, which the public doesn't see. But the stuff that the public does see, that shows your guilt. All right. That is the evidence. You see, this is how much more must you will not go unpunished. You must drink this cup of judgment. And that's what's going to happen to Esau. And hey, we're at the beginning of that. Like, and chills just ran up my spine, because we're at the end. And the end means so much more. There's so much that has to happen. Okay? There's so much that has to happen. You are going to enter into an age of complete destruction, a curse, astonishment, all of that. You're going to go from being the top nation to the bottom, and it's going to take a process. And the process has been going on, but when everything is said and done, and the kingdom, and the kingdom has to be built, there's a whole laundry list of things that's going to happen. All right. It says, "For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord Yahweh, that Basra, which is a capital city," all right, Edom, all right, it says, "shall become a desolation." All right. In that capital city, all right, your main place that you get down is America. All right. For those that have an ear, let them hear. It says, a reproach. It says, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. All right. And that's alluding to the thermonuclear destruction that's going to take place. All right. As the Lord's judgment against his enemies. It says, "I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her. All right. And rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men." All right. It says, the Lord says to Edom in the NLT version, verse 15. It says, "I will cut you down to size among the nations. You will be despised by all." Wow. That's a hell of a turn. Jeremiah 49:16. "Thy terribleness hath deceived thee in the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks." Now I could have just read one precept and be through with it. I could have just read that Sirach 41:7, because that practically shows what's, the parameter of what's basically been shown in that video. But the Lord, all right, I just put the Spirit on me to continue. All right. It says, "Thy terribleness hath deceived thee." All right. In the pride of thine heart. And nobody has more pride than an Edomite. Trust me. It says, "O thou that," I think Ishmael might come second, because they're arrogant as hell too. But they're going to be punished as well. It says, "O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks," or of the rock. All right. "Thou holdest the height of the hill." Okay. It says, that though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down thence, said the Lord. All right. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. All right. Ooh, I gotta read the NLT. Hold on, give me a second. It says, every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. All right. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof. What happened in Sodom and Gomorrah? Those hailstones came down and destroyed the city and left everything ash. So what's going to happen to Edom's modern day home? We keep saying thermonuclear destruction. Okay. It says, said the Lord Yahweh, it says, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. All right. Where's Vocab Malone when you need him? You need to be breaking these scriptures down the right way. It says, Edom will be an object of horror. This is in the NLT. All right. All who pass by will be appalled and will gasp at the destruction they see there. All right. So again, yeah, it's gonna be appalling. It's gonna be devastating. It will be like the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah and their neighboring towns, says the Lord. No one will live there. No one will inhabit it. There's no place in the world except for Chernobyl where people are not living. All right. And can't inhabit the place. Okay. And people are not going to be able to inhabit the America, North America, to be exact, or whatever cities those thermonuclear missiles hit. Lord willing, this lesson has been edifying to you, Akim. All right, because hey, this is going to continue until the Lord destroys them. And if anybody got anything to worry about, it's you Edomites. Okay, it's you Edomites, man. All right. Hey, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. A double honor to the apostles, elders, salutations to Akim, pushing the work in truth and sincerity. Shalom.